Lights.
Camera.
Watch.
Leave the world behind.
Watch.
So, this is like my neck of the woods.
This wasn't for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but like I
thought it was good, but it wasn't for me.
I love this type of movies. This is what I thought Knock at the Cabin should have been like, or would have been like. Have you seen Knock at the Cabin? That's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That's the one that stars Drax in a very tiny t-shirt, right?
Yes.
I'm aware.
So, I don't want to say end of the world movies, but this is kind of...
You like an apocalyptic scenario.
Yes, absolutely. Spoiler alert, everybody, if you're not ready for it.
I'm fucked up in the head, no.
No. I mean, what I liked about the movie, it gave us very strong characters and didn't need to give me like this entire backstory on each person. You know who each person is, like immediately.
Yeah.
And I love that about it. And I just think outside of all the madness that is going on in the world, just the dialogue between Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Ali, I can't say his name.
Mahershala?
Mahershala Ali. Like, the conversations they have are fantastic.
I would agree. I think this is very well done for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think the tone was on point.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had some fun camera movement. I think that was the best part for me.
Oh, yeah. Like, when something goes wrong.
Going between the floors and the rooms and shooting to the other person in the other side. And, like, all the camera motions were, like, so fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, honestly, really fun music cues.
Mm-hmm.
I just, like, wasn't expecting it to get scary, and then it got, like, a little scary. Not too scary for me, though, which was appreciated, but I was like, oh, I didn't realize.
Like, I watched this movie. I watched it twice, and then the trailer for Civil War came.
That looks fucked up. Same vibes.
I think it's even worse. It's even worse. Because you know who stars in that movie? You know that guy, I think his name's Jesse, or whatever. The guy
Jesse Plemons.
That guy.
And his wife.
Jesse Plemons is the bad guy in every movie.
No.
Why?
Not every movie.
Have you seen him in Breaking Bad?
No.
He was not.
I know he's a bad guy, and I've seen that one scene with the child in Breaking Bad.
Anyhow, like literally, like one of my favorite movies. Sorry, we digress, but like literally, he's like got those two guys headed, and he's like, you can't do this. Like, we're American, and he goes like, what kind of American? Like, it was just like, it just fits with the tone of where the country is. Mm-hmm. That it's like, I don't really care, but like just that line, it's like, ooh, those are those lines that are just gonna be like forever talked about, and it's already in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the best line in the movie.
It a little bit, but
anyhow, back to the movie. I really liked anytime when things went sideways, the camera literally turned sideways.
Yep.
And I thought that was a unique twist where it's like you're just looking at it, but like the world is tilted upside down. And in many ways, you don't know who your enemy is.
You have no idea.
Yes.
I was so fearful of both the people coming to the house, and honestly, the house, I was like, is this man, is this an elaborate prank? Did he just make his house the only thing that was off the grid so no one who's in it knows what's happening outside? Because like Julia Roberts' character, except for towards the end where she's like looking for her daughter, does not leave the house. She is just like fed information from everyone else who's like searching out. And I was like, is this all like real or wrong? Until Ethan Hawke like leaves in the car, like I was still like, are they just like pranking him?
Yeah, and it also speaks to yourself that like, if the world goes to shit, like, how are you gonna leave everybody behind? Like Ethan Hawke sees that like Latino lady speaking to him, and like he just like, bye, bless you, but it's just bye. I'm just gone. Or like when they're at the hardware store and all this other stuff, it's just like, it's so interesting to see how quickly civilization can just crumble.
Without, like, these days, right now, think about, like, internet's down, phones are down. Phones are down.
What would you do?
I literally would not know what to do.
What would you do all day? Like, you're not designed for the real world.
Nope.
None of us are. I'm just saying, like, majority. Like,
I have zero survival skills. Like, when Ethan, I think the best line in the movie is when Ethan Hawke is, like, begging the man with a gun, Kevin Bacon's character. And he's like, I'm a useless man. And it's like, yeah, I felt that.
Because it really tells you a lot about society that, like, we're really dependent on service tasks. Mm-hmm. We exist in serviceness. We don't have any raw skills where it's like, hey, start a fire. Can you start a fire? Can you fish? Can you figure out how to build yourself some shelter? I think those are the questions when you watch this movie that just concerns you. Like, it's not about the bomb dropping on top of you. It's about, like, what happens when the bomb drops on top of you and you're supposed to survive.
Yeah.
You kind of hope to be like the guys that go out instantly, because the people that are out there is going to be turning into, like, Hunger Games.
They would have stayed in New York. The bomb would have landed right on them.
I loved every time that Ollie would say, like, little tad bits about this really wealthy person that, like, is connected to, like, the military industrial. Like, he'd always say, like, yeah, I got this client that's just, and he would say these lines. And the director literally, he wrote Mr. Robot. I don't know if you've ever seen Mr. Robot.
Haven't, no.
It's a fantastic show. Same concept of, like the world is controlled by, like, media and, like.
Is that the one that stars Rami Malek?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's very dark. You're gonna be feeling very depressed.
I'm good on that.
But, like, when he goes and tells you what's really happening, he's all like, you know, like, the biggest plan they had prepared is they literally would disrupt your technology, your energy grid, your communications. They would, like, shoot microwave, like, energies to make you feel sick or whatever it is, and then they would leave you alone to fight each other.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't even send one soldier in. They would just let you guys kill each other. Because a lot of people don't realize in history, like, a lot of great empires crumbled from within. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of like a wake-up call to, like, yo, United States, it's like, if you don't have a population that can sustain itself and you're dependent on servitude, like, you won't exist. You know, it's really sad. It's concerning. And I think the movie does a great job of that. And even at the little girl that finds her way.
Best character.
Probably. Little girl that finds her way to the bunker. Mm-hmm. All she does immediately is just know how to, like, enjoy life. She has no idea what suffering is or hardship. She's, like, literally gets there and pigs out on food, does not even think twice, and finds friends and just watches Friends.
Physical media queen.
I think the movie itself, like, Netflix did a fantastic job. If this was in the movie theaters, I guarantee it would generate a lot of money, a lot of buzz. And what I really liked about the movie is the trailer did not give it away, like, what's going on. And that's what I like. Don't give it away. I had no idea what I was walking into. I
also had no idea what I was walking into, so when it got a little spooky, I got a little frightened, but I was glad that I watched it during the daytime. But then it didn't get, like, horror movie, we're all gonna turn on each other and, like, shoot each other in the face, which was appreciated. It was left very up in the air with the ending. We don't really know how everything settles. The son got absolutely fucked over. That was disturbing. I did not like the teeth. I was not a fan of that. Why did he keep pulling them out? You pull out one, you go, why did this happen? And you stop.
Yeah, that was, like, really just, like, made it really eerie and scary.
That
like,
came out of nowhere for me, and I was not prepared.
And I don't think you can ever survive from that. You know, dude, my dude is never gonna have a date ever. In that world, he's not.
And, like, he made a comment earlier that, like, he should have covered his ears, like, faster. And then, like, when they go see Kevin Bacon, he's like, oh, I heard about that happening the last time this noise came, so it's from the noise, because he was the only one that was, like, exposed to it long. That's good. I liked that little detail. That was smart. Because he also was bitten by the thing, and you're like, oh, maybe just everything's poisoned with the animals, because the animals are fucked up. Honestly, we saw 2 movies with great flamingos today. Well, I did. I saw this one.
Oh, the flamingos just showed up, just, like, flew over there.
Yep.
They're like, they knew, like, these animals are gonna die. Dude, let's just take over.
The deer were scary.
I know. I was gonna ask you about the deer. Like, how'd you feel about, like, the deer? And
the best deer is, like, when did you notice the one where she just, like, turns on the light switch real quick, and they're, like, all in the backyard, and then it just turns it off, and then they don't even mention it. And I was like, oh.
That was so interesting. It just tells you how quickly nature can come back and take it all over again.
Yeah, we're in their space.
Pretty much. Other than that, I think this was a light.
We got to talk about the dancing. What are you doing?
Oh, you want to talk about next?
What?
You know that's, like, my jam, right?
That song's your jam?
That is from my generation.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. It was a banger. And
you've never heard that song before?
No, I've heard that song
Okay,
before.
good. I just want to make sure, like, it's a great song. It's like a one-hit wonder, but it is fantastic. So I thought, you know what I thought was gonna? I thought Julia Roberts and they were gonna hook up.
I think that was like the impression we're getting. Okay, you wanted to cut this off so short. The plane thing was disturbing.
Really?
He goes to his neighbor's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is wet. The windows are broken. He's like, what happened here? He goes up to the beach. It is just littered with corpses and like destruction.
Lost.
Just to see another plane come crash into it again. I was like, this is fucked up.
Then the oil tanker also didn't screw you over either?
The oil tanker was like pretty mild. They were like, the oil tanker really messed with my head. It's like the oil tanker, I feel like, is the most mild thing that happened because nobody got hurt. It just landed in the sand.
Yeah, that's kind of just so interesting because it just kind of also tells you like how valuable oil is in our society and how a tanker just can go run rampant and like no one stopped it, or like no one's like, oh my God, we can't let all that oil go to waste. Just let it go. I really also like the leaflets of just like all over the place, like different leaflets are being dropped. So they're just like messing with the entire population because they don't know who's going after them. So it's like anybody could be doing this. Like it could be even your own government.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary part.
Dude, and I think Julia Roberts did like a great job of just like playing like a mom that's like concerned, but also to a point where it's like you're being annoying at this point. And like the daughter to Mahershala Ali's character was honestly getting on my nerves at one point, but also like the racial tension between the two of them for some reason was like a nice added touch because it's like it adds to the level of like us as a society not wanting to trust each other and everything.
Absolutely.
And I almost wish that they didn't directly point it out because it was so obvious. And like at one point, she's like, oh, it's a fast way to say black. It's like, I wish you didn't add that because like we can read it all over this. Like it didn't need to be like handed to me.
But you're not like the average film watcher. You're not the average film watcher.
What does that mean?
You're like, I think you have like a smarter IQ.
Okay, I watch more movies than the average person.
There's people like that. I mean, the thing about Netflix is like everybody has Netflix, you know? But this is like that movie that's like maybe goes like number one. It's like sort of like Don't Look Up, you know, like that movie. I'm sure. Yeah, it's like one of those movies like Don't Look Up, like Leave the World Behind. These are like those movies.
Yeah.
And I think it has an opportunity to reach a mass audience. It's just interesting.
Do you think a mass audience would like this?
Yes.
Do you think they're going to be upset that it doesn't end with like a clear-cut answer?
No, I think they love this stuff. I think like this falls in the line of like those M. Night Shyamalan movies where it's like, what's it called? Sixth Sense and all this other stuff, or Signs. Like, have you seen those movies? You've not seen.
I told you this is not my genre.
You've not seen Signs?
No, what is Signs?
You've not seen Signs.
I haven't even heard of
Mel
Signs.
Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix are in Signs, and it was like the #1 movie that year. Banger. It is awesome. It is fantastic. Box office draw. It did fantastic. You need to watch that.
I'll put it on my watch list.
Just like look at the reviews and just like type in like Signs and see what people say. I guarantee it's on so many top 10 lists. I think it's M. Night's like best movie. Like, what are people saying? Like, oh, look at the reviews. Look at the reviews.
I mean, on Letterboxd per se, it's got 3.5 average.
Is that bad?
That's like pretty average, but it looks like it's beloved.
It is reviews a lot. It is beloved.
I think the literal only movie I've seen by this man.
Silence.
Oh my god, he did Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, we don't speak of that movie.
That's criminal.
Have you seen the Avatar cartoon?
Of course.
All of them?
Of course. I haven't seen Korra actually, so I guess not. Of course. Oh, man. I've only seen actually Split, and I was forced to see Split.
Why?
And I did not like Split.
Older was a good movie too.
Old? I thought people hated Old.
I like the concept of like a lot of M. Night's movies is he says like, yo, I can make this movie for like $10 million, and then he'll make like $60 million.
Shout out him.
Yeah, he's a killer. He just has great concepts.
This I thought was like very creative and well done, and the little girl deserved respect, and she said, I am not going to be a sitting duck, and no one pays attention to me, and I only watch the Aaron Sorkin West Wing episodes, which was a hilarious line.
That's really smart.
And she literally hears her mom yelling for her outside the house and literally said, fuck her, she's not going to respect me, she's not going to listen to me, she's not paying attention to my wishes, and I care about being comforted right now and watching the final episode of Friends. Which, by the way, the entire time she was so worried to find out what happened to Ross and Rachel, and everybody in the house had pretty much said, oh yeah, I've watched all of Friends, and they could have just fucking told her if she was so worried about never seeing it, and how dare they?
That was pretty mean. But also, how much is Friends like a show that you just watch and just feel safe? Because when you watch that show, like nothing happens.
Exactly.
And that's why people
it was a
get
comfort
girlfriend.
sitcom.
Yes.
As someone who like has a hard time committing to TV shows because I like to do other things while I watch the TV show in the background, I just loop the same sitcoms, and like Friends is one of those. It's like it's good background noise.
Are you an Office person too?
Love The Office.
Or do you watch Seinfeld?
Love Seinfeld.
I've only seen like 4 episodes of Seinfeld. I think it's
I
fantastic.
fall asleep to Seinfeld often. You just put it on, you fall asleep after 15 minutes. You don't need more. It's great.
What is this thing, Jerry? I don't even know if that's a line. I just feel like I just made it.
It was pretty accurate.
I don't know. For me, the story was great, but like when he told me like the conspiracy theory or like the action of taking out a country in that way, I'm all like, brilliant. Chef's kiss.
All the countries are coming against us.
That's the crazy part.
I was like, good. But you're absolutely right to compare this to the Civil War trailer. Granted, that movie is not coming out for like a year, but that terrified me.
Yeah. I mean, just the trailer alone was like...
I was like, this could happen, and it freaks me out.
I don't think it could happen because everybody likes their situation.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot. Like, it's going to take like a real impact on someone's economical living situation for it to really
just like as an American, like war times and like crisis, even though it happens literally day to day always, it's just like so far removed from our reality because we live in our own little dumb bubble, like this movie, which is their little Long Island. It's like when it's actually like come to you, you're like, this can't fucking happen. It's like, well, it happens to everyone else, so like why are we special? We're not really.
Yeah. And I think historically, and I can be mistaken, Americans have killed more Americans than anybody else that has killed us. Whether we're talking about Civil War,
does not surprise me.
Civil War, acts of violence, and God knows what else.
We have the most serial killers ever in any country.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We suck.
Yes, but we're also the people that gave rock and roll, rap.
They would have figured it out.
Marvel.
They would have figured it out.
We gave the world the internet, the iPhone. We've given the world a lot. We've given the world basically cinema, like generally. You know what I mean? Like our art has really transformed society in so many ways. And just like we gave the world memes.
You're right. God bless us.
Yeah, like how much do you communicate with your friends in memes? I was just joking with my friend the other day. Is like if we have children, like our kids are never going to speak this like dead language of memes.
No, they're only gonna speak that language of memes. What are you talking about?
Dead ass, all caps, on God, right?
Fuck yeah, that was horrendous.
Your guys' words are.
Okay, don't say your guys's because
I've
never used any of those words.
You've never
in
used
my
dead
life.
ass.
Okay, I guess dead ass.
I still don't even know what dead ass means.
It means dead ass. What do you mean?
When I heard it the first time, I thought someone said like that ass.
I'm so serious. Dead ass.
On God.
That one.
What's all caps? You're lying?
No, I have no idea.
There you go. This was definitely a lights
camera
watch.